Maseches Bava Metzia. Yay, we got it. Maseches Bava Metzia, Daf Gimel Amud Aleph in the bottom of the page. Baruch Hashem, what a lovely day to learn Torah. And this shows Lunishma Salvi Moir Menachem Ben Akiva, Rus Bas Shalom Salvas, Moshe Lefuas, Estafum Bas Shoshana Malka, Rus Bas Lunishma Rus Bas Shalom Lefuas, Shmuel Avon Ben Yudis. Besorg Shach Chol Yisrael. Nisol Bas Vachomer Besorg Shach Chol Yisrael. Tani Rabbi Chiyah. Two dots. The two dots, a line starts with the words Mebala Bais, then the two dots, and then Tani Rabbi Chiyah. Tani Rabbi Chiyah, a brisa mentioned by Rabbi Chiyah. Gimel Amud Aleph towards the bottom of the page. Yes. Today's Amud is Gimel Amud Beis, but we're not yet there. Tani Rabbi Chiyah says the brisa like this: Monali beyodcho. A person comes and tells his friend, Monali beyodcho, you owe me a money, 100 zuz, 100 shekels, $100. The other one says, the other side, the accused side says, Ein lecha biyodi klum. You have nothing with me, nothing. I owe you 0 times 0, nothing. However, if that would have been the case, by the way, had this stopped right there, then midoraisa, not midorabonon, midoraisa, the halacha would be that he owes him nothing and he can tell him, go home, because as long as you don't have any proof to what you're saying, I can't just come to you in the middle of the day and say, Yitzchak, you owe me $100. If he say nothing, it's nothing. However, that's not the end of the story. Over there, the story was that eidim oisoy sheyesh lo 50 zuz. The eidim will say that 50 out of the 100 are owed. They know that at least 50 were really lent to the one who denies. 100 they don't know, but 50 they know about. So it's basically half the amount he's lying about, and so we assume right now. And therefore, what do we do? So he doesn't agree to anything. So the eidim make him agree because nobody's asking him about half the amount, right? Eidim say no, it's not 0, it's 50. So then 50 zuz he has to give him because no choice. Eidim against the person is a non-starter, no brainer. That's for sure. 50 you have to give because the eidim says 50. Little kid, you have to give 50. Not a question. Now here comes fun. The other 50, he has to take a Shevua, an oath, that he does not owe 50. That's interesting. He has to make a Shevua that, because he still holds by what he says. He only says, okay, 50. Originally said 0. Now they didn't say 50. What about the other 50? He still digs deep saying, no, I don't know more than the 50 that I was proven wrong. He has to swear, make a Shevua, that he doesn't owe any more than what he already paid. Why is that? Why does he have to make and take a Shevua? Says the Brisa, Rav Chiyah shelo te'er doas piv gdoilo mehadoas eidim. Mikal vachomer. Wow. Which means as follows. Everybody knows, and we're going to explain why. The Torah says in Parshas Mishpatim, famous line, Ki hu zeh. Ki hu zeh, part of a pasuk that says that if a person came and accused someone and claimed against someone that he owes him money, and the other person is MB, Modeh BeMiktzas, the person admitted to half and said, you say you owe you 100? No, I owe you 50. In that case, the person who admitted to half, Modeh BeMiktzas, admits to half the story, he has to take a Shevua that the rest of the money he doesn't owe, and then he goes home. If he does not take the Shevua, then he has to pay. That's a din Torah, and we're going to explain it extensively today, exactly how it works. Be'ezras Hashem. Yesterday was a fast. I had to do that at night. Baruch Hashem. Over the phone with the Chavrusa. We're going to get it right, Be'ezras Hashem. Lamaisa, we have a concept called Modeh BeMiktzas Chayiv Shevua. Comes the Gemara and tells me now, if the person who is now, look what's happening now. The eidim, instead of the Hodah BeMiktzas, there's eidim BeMiktzas, right? I say 100, you say 0. The eidim say 50. So really, instead of you admitting to 50, to half, the eidim are the ones who did the job for you. Now, it's not the same thing exactly, but still, we say kal vachomer. You tell me just from your own thoughts, from your own ideas, who do you think is stronger in general, eidim or person statement? Just answer quickly. No. I'm impressed with your knowledge, but very nice, very nice. The Gemara assumes the Gemara will, the Gadol thinks that no, eidim are stronger than a person's declarations or statements, whatever it says, and therefore it's a kal vachomer. I'm reading again. Go up one line again. We don't want a person's hoidah to be greater and more important than hadas eidim. It's a mikal vachomer, which means, what do we say? If the person was moideh, I just told you, the Torah says, it's one of the 3 places in the entire Torah the person has to take a shvua. If the person moideh and said, yes, he was 15, right? Then he has to take shvua on the rest. Kal vachomer, eidim. Shnei eidim, says the Rambam, the most important hoidah in the world, Raya, although we'll see later, then, kol sheken eidim, if eidim are the ones who are made that you owe part, 50, whatever, kol sheken, you have to make a shvua on the rest. That's basically the mechanism. That's how the structure works, yeah? In other words, we don't want your hoidah be greater than eidim. And if by hoidah, the Torah says you have to be nishba on the rest, kol sheken by eidim, you have to be nishba on the rest. That's a structure. Okay, yes? And says the Gemara, V'tana tuna. V'tana tuna means our Mishnah supports the idea of Rabbi Chiyah. Our Mishnah supports Rabbi Chiyah's idea. Why? Look what the Mishnah says. Now let's examine carefully what our Mishnah, the story of our Mishnah, the case of our Mishnah. And by the way, our Mishnah, you know what's the best English expression for a Mishnah? Mirror image. Why? Because you always concentrate on one person being the machzik, v'chule, you paskin something about him, and then the same applies to the other side. So let's now focus on one guy. Let's say our good friend Reuven. Look what happens in our Mishnah to Reuven. Shnayim oichzin batalis, right? Okay, 2 of them hold the talis. Ze omer ani metzia v'chule, da 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 da. Let's look at Reuven. Mr. Reuven, what does he do? The over here. Kevan de tofis. I'm even putting this on the whiteboard. 1 second. Yeah, I hope our viewers can see it. Yeah. Let's say, yeah, you have the talis. No, we need a new whiteboard urgently. Reuven is the one who claims that the entire talis is his. Reuven says it's all mine, right? Reuven says it's all his, right? Reuven has now, okay, and Shimon says, and Reuven says, Shimon, you're a liar. What you have, you're a liar. I want to take the entire thing out of you. It's all mine. You owe me the entire talis. You took it out of my hands. You tried to grab the whole thing, you piece of something, after I already took it, okay? Shimon says, Ma pitom, 0 belongs to you. Mamish like our Mishnah. Ignore Shimon holding it, okay? Just Shimon says it's 0 yours. No, Ma pitom. And Reuven says it's all mine. Reuven has eidim, that 50% belong to him. You know who are the eidim? I'm not such a great painter. His own hands. As we said at the very beginning of the Mishnah, when a person is machzik something with his hands, it's like anan sahadi. It's as if we are eidim that he has it. So Reuven has eidim over 50% of the entire thing, right? Reuven has 50% proof because holding it with my hands is so strong, it's tantamount to eidim. So now what do we say? Shimon has to, take a shvua. So that's it. You see, I'm right. You see that when a person has eidus over 50% of his claim, Reuven says it's all mine, and I have eidim on 50% of it, then Shimon has to take shvua to say that, to prove that he's right. Shimon also took half. That's what I said, mirror image. And Chanami, Shimon does the same. Exactly the same process goes afterwards with Shimon versus Reuven. That's Reuven also has to take shvua. That's the cool thing about a Mishnah. Both sides are the accusers and also the plaintiff and the accused. Yeah. But if you focus on one side, that's why you have to take Shevua. By the way, Rav Chiyah is definitely disagreeing with Rabbi Yochanan. Remember, before we said it's a different reason. It's only a takana d'Rabbanan. Rav Chiyah has a different idea. He says our Mishnah is like a similar Modeh BeMiktzas. It's not Modeh BeMiktzas, it's eidim al hamiktzas. Let's read it inside. The Tana Tuna. Tana Tuna means our Mishnah helps me. Our Mishnah helps my concept, says Rabbi Chiyah. Over here. Kevan the Tofis, since Reuven is holding it with his own bare hands, which is called Chazaka, Anan Sahadi, we the eidim, we the world, we the people are Sahadi, we're like eidim, the Modeh Tofis Hai Didehu. Whatever he holds, Reuven belongs to him. That's 50%. Of course, the other side, the Modeh Tofis Hai Didehu, also Shimon has eidim on his side. Viktani Shava. You see that he has to take Shevua. Why is it that the other side has to take Shevua? Why can't Reuven and Shimon say, you hold, you have eidim, you have eidim, let's split and be good friends and just make a nice clean divorce? We don't say that. No, we say what? We say you have to take Shevua because you have eidim against, because you hold 100%. 50% are eidim against you. The rest you have to take Shevua before you stay with what you have. And that's exactly, or almost exactly, like the case of Rav Chiyah. Now, the Gemara is going back to Rav Chiyah's actual idea. Frag the Gemara again about Rav Chiyah. With the proof, we're good. We're happy with the proof from the Mishnah. We're asking another question. The Gemara says, Mikal vachomer. Why did we need the Kal vachomer to tell me that Hoido is not greater than eidim? Rashi explains, you can see Rashi now, Rashi on the side, the second to last Rashi. Says Rashi, why in my wild dreams would have I thought, why do you need the whole Kal vachomer? Because I would have thought the Teisa Kadaitin, I would have dreamt that Teodas Piv Dolam Ados Eidim. Would you ever in your right mind think that a person's own declaration is greater than eidim? You're right, Baruch, what you said. But everybody knows that if two eidim come and say, you owe money, and the person declares, you do not owe money, it's a joke. Two eidim are for sure more naaman than the person himself. Everybody wants to talk, for their own benefit, and eidim are known to be the best proof that there is. I need to learn whole Kal vachomer. Of course, it goes without saying. Why would have I thought otherwise? So now, in other words, we have a reason to think why a person confronting eidim in this case is actually, worse off making a shvua than a person with eido. And the reason is what Tzvi said before. But now let's see it inside. Mikal vachomer. Shalot tomer dos piv. Shalot tomer dos piv hu derami rechmon shvua lei. So you shouldn't say that dos piv is the one that the Torah told him to be nishba only by Hodo and not by eidim. In other words, the answer, which we're only going to explain now, is when it comes to making a shvua, there's more of a reason to say that a person who admitted part of the story is more likely to take a shvua rather than the person who was denied by eidim, confronted by eidim and proven to be a liar, less likely there that he should be able to make a shvua. Why? Let's see now. Now we're going to the very, very famous line that appears 7 places in Shas, and that is the Gemara explaining to us how does Modeh BeMiktzas work. Why is it that the Torah said that a person who's Modeh BeMiktzas, that admitted half the story, part of the money, part of the debt, why do we say that he has to take Shevua? Kederabba. This is a concept explained by Rabbah. Says Rabbah. Before we continue, you have to know something that would deal with many, many questions you may have about this. On one hand, we know that if I come to you and I say, this pain is mine, you can tell me, midoraisa, not midorabona. Midoraisa, I tell you, this pain is mine, you don't have to take Shevua, no eidim, no nothing. You tell me, Akiva, go home, take a walk, see a shrink. I said the pen is mine, and you said the pen is yours. Of course it's yours. I'm coming to Mechadish Siddur Bereshis. That's not the case over here. Listen to the definition that I had based on Rishonim and Achronim. When a person said, you owe me 100, he's saying 2 things. You owe me 100. That's 2 statements, combined in one. And when you say, I owe you 50, 2 statements. So we all agree that you owe me, right? So you can't just say, go home anymore. In other words, where there's smoke, there's fire. We all know that there's a debt over here. We only argue about the amounts. I say 100, you say 50. In this case, you can't just say, brush me off and say, 50, mechitesi more. You can't just say, mechitesi, I owe you more. Why? because we both agree that there's a debt here. The only question is in the amounts. A little bit like we said in the drawer de Mamoino, a little bit, it's not drawer de Mamoino, but similar that we know something's going on here when the cow was gored by the bull. The only question is how much, yeah? Same thing over here. We know that there's involvement here. We know that there's a debt. You can't tell me now, 50, avada, mechitesi more. Once you admit it to it, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's something going on. Now you have to prove that, and you have to take a shvua that you don't owe me more than the 50. That's the basic idea, the basic premise. However, continues Rabbis and says, why did the Torah say Modeh BeMiktzas etayna yishova, which means, says Rashi, you can see Rashi again, Veloi choshvo k'mei shiva veda, lefotoi, shelo kofer bekuloi. Listen to this. You remember a good friend? You remember his name? Our friend from Mexico. His name is Migo. Yeah? In other words, why don't we say, it's true that I have to prove myself. I proved. Look, I could have denied everything, all right? Say thank you. I'm like a Meshiva Veda. A person who returned to your wallet, and in the wallet you have $500, you can't take a shvua and say to him, make a shvua that there's no thousand. Say thank you, I gave you back the wallet, and go home. I could have kept the wallet to myself and be dishonest, right? Same thing over here. The wallet with the money, and not what? Yeah, the wallet while it's full, of course, yeah. Anyway, yeah, today there are e-wallets, the wallet in the internet for the cryptocurrency. So now, all kinds of wallets. Now you get the idea. Why do I have to take shvua? Mechutzav, say thank you, I admitted to 50, right? I could have said 0, and I would have gone home happily, whistling all the way. So maybe there's a migo over here, like a Meshiva Veda. Says the Gemara, continues, Rabbi says no. The Torah knew human psychology, obviously. Once you admit that you're Baal Choiv, on that we agree, there's a chazaka, a person cannot be, most normal human beings, unless they're very corrupt, and later on, unfortunately, things changed, but din Torah, a person who can be as bonim, can be so insolent, so mechutzav, to mamish say 0, I don't owe you anything, to a person who he knows, the other side knows the truth, and he also did him a favor. There are 2 factors here mentioned in the Rishonim. Yeah, that he couldn't have done. Meaning, of course, who said you're Baal Choiv? You said you're Baal Choiv. But according to your front row taina, the facade of your taina, that you are a Baal Choiv, you admitted you're Baal Choiv, right? Now you can't tell me, as a Baal Choiv, I could have lied. No, you couldn't have lied. You couldn't have lied and said 0. Ad kedei kach, I don't believe you could have lied. That's one migo you don't have. And therefore, really, you would have lied to be kofer on everything. You'd have lied to keep the money to yourself, the entire, 6,000 to yourself. You know why you're not kofer? Because some kind of basic musar that people have of ethics keeps you from being kofer on everything. Now continues the Gemara to Amud Beis. Now it's one of these Gemaras we have to see Rashi before the Gemara. Look at Rashi. Look at the first Rashi. Now, what do we say? Now we assume that the person is a liar, right? If we really believe that the person owes 100 and he's playing games, he feels bad to lie. So instead of really lying about the entire 100, he wants to make a smaller lie. That's very much human psychology. Let's all admit that if you're an honest person, but you sometimes have to make a white lie, usually the lie would be halfway through, right? Like, let's say somebody asks you, did you finish the job? You quickly do half the job, and I'm not saying it's right to do, or did I do it, but in general, and you say, I finished the whole job. Yeah, you can't lie a whole lie. Otherwise, you have like a black thing on you, I'm a liar. So you want to lie halfway. Wait, if he lies halfway, says Rashi, maybe maybe if his chosh would be a liar, he's lying through his teeth, lamaisa. There's no white lie. There's no such thing in halacha. It's a black lie. If he lies about 50%, then maybe we could say a person who's choshid on lying, maybe is choshid on a shvua. Maybe shvua won't help him. It says Rashi, v'lo nirmeh ale shvua sa. Maybe the Torah shouldn't impose a shvua on him, like you said about eidim, because he's a liar. How can you make a liar benishba? Maybe that liar will be so low, maybe he'll sink so low that he's even benishba l'shekel. It's a big machlokas later on, choshid ha'mamoyna, choshid ha'shvua sa, or no? Do we say that a person who is suspected to lie would also go all the way to even lie Shevua, yes or no? Now, before we continue this stage, Rashi says, maybe the guy is a liar, and maybe a liar, you can't even put, we know he lies. If we mamish know that he lied, then mechitesi to make him take a shvua. We're only machshilim, not getting anywhere. Says the Gemara, no, don't worry, he's not such a liar. Really, he would have liked to admit everything. And he's going to. He's going to admit the whole thing eventually one sunny day when he'll have more cash. The high the law oidi. You know why he did not admit everything? How do you say lishtamet in English? He's evading him, he's being evasive. In other words, he's buying time. He wants to lishtamet, to dodge out, dodge away, and he wants to buy time. So now he thinks, when I'll have the other 50, then I'll be porea. In other words, right now he wants to admit only 50 because he doesn't want to pay everything now and sell his house. He's strapped for cash, right? He's basically a good, honest guy who's buying time with white lies. But he's not a mamish liar maybe he's a liar but not a thief. That's what I would say. He's lying, but he's not intending on stealing. I think that's a good definition. He's a liar but not a thief. He really, really intends when he'll have money, then he'll come clean and say, I'm sorry, here's the other 50. He really wants to eventually give the whole thing, but he's buying time illegally. So the mice is not such a liar, Noira. So Omer Rachmana comes the turn and says, no, mister, I'm sorry, says the Torah. Omer Rachmana, the Heilige Bashefer, the Torah says, Gimel Amud Beis, third line, Gimel Amud Beis, Rami Shevua Alei, impose a Shevua on him, we want him to be nishba right now, so he should be moide for moide and admit to everything. We don't like that him running the show with half lies and buying time. Oh, wait a second. So let's summarize. That's a good time to summarize. What's Modeh BeMiktzas once and for all? Mechabrus and I laughed. We said, this is more so many times, and every time it's hard to get the whole story straight. So basically, with there's smoke, there's fire. When a person says, yes, I owe you back less, that's suspicious. By the way, it's Toisus and Daftala the Mudalif. He sounds like a liar. He sounds like yes, no, maybe so. If it's a real no, he would have said no, and I'd believe him. A person would not lie straight on the entire amount. If he said, bag, again, 50-50, then he's probably not exactly saying the truth. Now, don't say migo, yeah, you couldn't have lied completely. Why do you make him take a shvu about the rest? Why did the Torah say that? He's a liar. How can Bimash be a liar? He's not a liar, mamish. He's not a ganev. He wants to buy time and stagger it the way he wants, and eventually really wants to pay. Maybe, Leonovi would come here who would really make an extra to his heart. He wants to pay, but we don't like it. We say, admit everything now with a shvua. You want us to get you a nice payment plan? We'll discuss that later in the office, yeah? But the Meister, admit the whole thing now. Mimela, he can be nishba. Why can he be nishba? Because he's not mamish a liar. He's not a thief, super liar. And therefore, we say he's not choshed amayno, choshed shvua. Such a person, shvua would be good for that class, that type of liar. Shvua would do good for him. Rak rega, aval, here comes Tzvi's big moment. You want to step on the stage? Aval ados eidim, ay. When the person said, I owe you 0, and eidim, eidim. 2 eidim came and denied him, and Mamish proved him wrong. The leikal me'mahachi. You can't say this whole buying time business. He's proven to be ALIAR. He's a liar, Mamish. To talk against eidim is the worst thing that can happen to in Beis Din. Then Ema loy. I would have said no. He's not believed because he's Mamish lying. He's saying I owe 0. Came eidim and they said, as he was saying 0, we saw in his back pocket. I'm being a bit dramatic, but the Gemara will talk later. Bishas Maisa, they saw that he has 50, at least 50 from the loan. Mamish Shakra and Gamu, lying through his teeth. Mimela Avad, such a person, I would have said, should not be Nishba. He's not believed to be Nishba. He's Choshid Amamoino. Yes, Choshid Shevua Sa. He may be even lying against the Shevua. He may make a false oath even. Kamash Malan, 1 minute, thank you for patience. Kamash Malan, no. Comes a big Chiddush, KML, Kamash Malan. What? Kal vachomer. What's a kal vachomer? Now that's harder to understand. Comes a kal vachomer and defeats logic. Comes a kal vachomer and says kal vachomer works the cold Litvish way. What does the kal vachomer say? Umay kal vachomer. What's the kal vachomer? Uma piv she'en mechayvo imomoin mechayvo shvua. His own mouth, his own declaring his own admission, yeah, he's not mechayev shvua, would not make him, excuse me, his own dibur, his own talk would not make him pay money, and yes, mechayev shvua. Shvua, his own declaration, his own admittance of 50 makes him take shvua. Eidim, or eidim are more than that. Eidim are more than shvua. Because eidim, of course, mechayev mamon. Eidim are the thing that gets money out of the person's pocket. Of course, mechayvim shvua. They will be mechayvim shvua. Now, you may ask the question, what do you mean? It's a nice vachomer, but at the end of the day, if he spoke against eidim, is a liar. So how can you take a shvua? So Mechavrus and I wanted to say, Mechavrus and I, we both thought, and whatever he says is based on Rishonim, we could say, here Gufa, the Torah told me that choshed mamayna loy choshed shvuasa. This kind of vachomer teaches me a person may be a liar mamish. It does not mean he will lie b'shvua. So machlokes later. And he writes me, he's a liar. He spoke against eidim. He's not a white liar, black liar, red liar, whatever. However, even a mamish liar about money that has no bad conscience on taking someone's money, we still assume, based on this kal vachomer, that he would still be scared to have an open Sefer Torah in a dark room, open Sefer Torah in front of 3 turn-faced dayanim, and the world shook when Hashem said, you know, and it's read b'Shem Hashem. Oh, that would deter a person. It's a machlokes. I'm saying, but Lamaisa, we can definitely take that side, and that's what we say now. He's a liar. The one who talks against eidim. Nobody is exactly on his side here, but we still would like to find out the truth. Says Rav Chiyah, through what? Through the Shevua. Why? Because of the kal vachomer. If eidah makes you take Shevua, then eidim are stronger, for sure would make you take a Shevua. At kan Rav Chiyah. Now we're going to work about what, very soon we're going to see what Baruch said. Your big moment, you can step to the stage now. Your big moment is coming now, because now the Gemara is going to say that eidim, that eidah has a certain fact that eidim don't. But I want to hear your question now. Yes? So let's now, I had a chart. I'm not going to do the chart now because the whiteboard's so bad, but you don't need the chart here. From now on, we're going to have a nice competition. Yoo-hoo, who doesn't like it? Basically, we just stated that eidim are stronger than the person's own, I don't say hoido only, person's own declaration, whichever way, is weaker than the eidim who talk about him or against him. That was the assumption, right? That's what we said. The Gemara is now going to find back and forth. Is that true? We're going to have a fist fight here between eidim and hoido aspiv, a person's own declaration, admittance, statement. Who is stronger than who? Frag the Gemara, number 1, we said hoido. What's hoido? Baruch was right. Admittance. A person's admitting, I owe you 100, is weaker than eidim who said that Reuven owes 100. Is that so? Frag the Gemara, upiv ein mechayvo imomain. Is that true? Are you sure? Are you telling me that the person's own mouth, own statement does not make him pay money? That's mefurish against a Tosefta and a Gemara in many places. Very nice. When a person admits that he owes money to someone, that is actually like 100 eidim. And Rashi later on, and the Rashba and Chuvas, and some Rishonim say, a person's own hoido, when he says, I owe you money, is more than eidim. We'll see later in Nafkamina, more than eidim. Why is that? So there are 2 reasons. There are at least 2 ways in the Rishonim to understand why is it when the person says, I owe you whatever, in Beis Din especially, or in a serious way, not in a joking way, and our eidim, and he says, I owe someone money, then we know that he really owes the money, and later on he can't say, I just said it. How do you know it? The source is from the Torah here. What did the Torah in our parsha right now said? Ki huzeh, a person who's Modeh BeMiktzas. What do we tell the person who's Modeh BeMiktzas? 50 I owe, 50 I don't. No dayanim. What do you tell the guy? He has to do 2 things. 50 you have to pay up now, and 50 take a shvua. Why does he have to pay the 50? Why can't he say a minute later, I'm a Talmid Chochem, there were no eidim, it was just my statement. I said I owe 50, and actually I changed my mind. I say no 50. I was joking. It's me speaking. No eidim came and proved. No, says the Torah. Here's the chiddush. Here's the source from the very same place. If the Torah says you better pay up, Rabbi, pay 50, means we rely on what you said. Why is that? So Rav Tzvi Krashlevsky, Madir Shiva said, not about the BeMiktzas, I'm making the connection. I'm not sure he said it about that. We see B'chol Torah Kula, and we saw recently also, a person like a father has ne'emonus to say who's the b'chor, who's not a b'chor, right? Even though maybe in a Gabadover, maybe he wants his favorite son to get double, not the other one. There are twins, or some illegal child, or all kinds of cases, the long lost brother. All of a sudden, there's a question: who's the b'chor? That can make a very good drama, you know. So the father says he's the b'chor. Yakir, the Torah says Yakir, losses lo pishnaim. He recognizes he's the b'chor. Why is that? Another question I have for you. A person sits in a person is a shoichet. Yir Shamayim shoichet. Yir Shamayim shoichet says, I just taught in Shulchan Aruch very recently, fresh. I'm learning Hilchos Shchita Stam on the side. And the Shchita, the shoichet says, you know, the Shchita I just did is straight, is possible, bad Shchita. And there are two eidim, the biggest mumchim, Rav Mahbud and Rav Mahbud, the biggest one, Badat Seder Charedis, they watched him like hawks every moment, and they know Yerushalayim every movement, and they saw that the guy is definitely shechted perfectly. They watched him as close as he can get. He almost cut their eyes, the knife. And what they say, Shchita Mahadrin Man Mahadrin. And two eidim Ksherim Mahadrin, and he says, no, it's not a good Shchita. Can you eat from that Shchita? Yes. Everybody can eat from that Shchita except for who cannot? The shoichet. Why? Shavi anav shechticha disur. Everyone here brings them with the chachamim. If you sit at a wedding and you say, I don't think the food is kosher, don't say that, even as a joke, as a shayla. Because if it's badat seder charedis, and you say the food here is not kosher enough, you want to be a frumi, you're not allowed to eat from it. Even if later on they found out something else. Why? You answered it on yourself. Begadol, what I want from your life. The general idea is the person is responsible and believed on his own inyonim. If it's my son, my family, or my food, or my surim, many, many things. Yeah, many ideas of what the person is neman on his own inyonim. He's like a dayan in his own beis din. I damned on myself that my shchita is treif, and I'm the audience of the beis din. I'm the kehila of the beis din also. I cannot eat it. My own son with my own Yerusha, I have the right to dan and decide this is the son. 1 second. My money, now to be michayev others, I can't. Yeah, I can't be michayev other people. The other people eat from the flesh. When a person says, I owe money, one of two things. One reason is my money, I decided my money is what? I'm chayiv to him. And that's therefore I have to follow my own psak. It's like a psak. Second explanation is it's like a matana. Just like I could give somebody $100, 100,000, yeah, every mishtatev gets $100,000 matana. So too, I can do the matana in the form of eidah or mechila. Yeah, I have the right to do that. I can transfer my money the way I want. I did a money transfer through Haidah, and from that I cannot return anymore once it was a serious thing. Mimela, 1 second. Mimela, the question is, says, what are you talking about? In the competition, so far, eidim are losing. They're not winning. We want eidim to win, right? We want eidim to win. Rav Chiyah says eidim are more than a dos pif. So far, we're going to have like, I think, 5 or 6 different fields that we'll have to fill and see who's stronger. So far, in a tournament, no, eidim are losing because Haidah speed is stronger than eidim, or at least as much as eidim. At least as much as eidim. If 2 eidim say I owe $100, I owe. If I say I owe $100, I also owe. So at least it's a tie. At least, even if they don't say more. But so far, you did not prove to me that eidim are more than his own statement. Happy? Yeah, good. Yes. If the person said, I'm a Rosho and I deserve skila, then we don't believe him. Because that's edus and not din. If you want to get lumdus with me, I'll get lumdus with you. A person can be done and decide, I'm making a din to myself that my mind will go there. A person can't decide to kill himself. I can't decide I deserve skila. And what can he do? I made that I did an avera of Chilul Shabbos. It can't be made on yourself. Therefore, if a person is testifying on himself, I always find it so funny. When they go in the court, what do they do? A person is an aid about himself. It's like a testimony. You can't be an aid for yourself. It's a shtus. An aid has to be objective. You're not objective. You're not an aid on yourself. So even if you want to incriminate yourself, and excuse me, the Gemara Sanhedrin's one famous example is Ploni Ravani Lertzoini. A man said, a man had relations with me and I was happy about it. Like Lo Leinu today. He's not believed. Why don't you give him skila? Because even if there's another aid with him, he can't be an aid about himself. Here it's not aidus. Here it's like a din and a achlot or a matana. That's what he's believed. That's the difference. Weiter. Mimela, so far in the game, it's a tie. Eidim and what? Eidim and Hoidas Piv so far are at least the same. You didn't yet prove to me that eidim are more than izado. Why are you perplexed? Modeh BeMiktzas, so the 50 admitted he has to give. Because if a dos piv, since your dos piv does work. No, he's giving, that's his money, that's himself. I said, when I say, I can don my money, I'm giving him a ton, but I can't decide to kill myself. Weiter, that's an eidus, and eidus doesn't work. Zog the Gemara, no, my mom and knas, oh, mazel tov, that's good. Knas, all of you are vachomer graduates, you all know the halacha. What does it say? Asher yilshin Elohim has to give pishnaim. Who gives, which gun gives pishnaim, double the amount of the theft? The one that was caught, and eidim came, and eidim said that he stole. But if he came to Beis Din with big tears, without big tears, for sure before the eidim, everyone agrees before the eidim, he doesn't have to, what? He returns the object. He is a good boy. We forgive him. You see, in this case, eidim are more mechayiv than piv. Look at the Gemara. Uma piv she'en mechayiv or knas. The pay, his own mouth, his own admittance is not mechayiv in knas. If I say I stole, I did not give knas of pishtayim of kefel. I meant to say kefel. Yet mechayiv shvua. In the case of Modeh BeMiktzas, the pay, his own admittance is strong enough to make him do shvua. Vachomer eidim shemechayiv nois knas, enudin shemechayiv nois shvua. Eidim that are stronger, tougher, they come and they say, you stole and you pay kefel, and yes, he will. And they're stronger, bigger. Mimelo, of course, mechayiv shvua. So far, yeah. Avada, so eidim are stronger. Eidim are more mechayiv. Eidim are more mechayiv. That's Machokas Rav Shmuel, by the way. So the eidim come and give testimony. That doesn't do anything. I admit it. Well, obviously, it's stronger than eidim. No, stronger means more mechayiv. I changed the word stronger to more obligating. Stronger, it's not a gym over here. In other words, eidim make him pay more. That's for sure. By knas, they make him pay. Well, his owner though does not make him pay. Okay? Mimela here too, let him pay, make him do a shvua. Shvua is like half payment. He's getting more mechayiv. Zog the Gemara, no. So far, Baruch Hashem, in the game, we're 1-0 for eidim. Yeah, eidim as we want. Eidim have 1-0 over who? Over Odos Piv. Eidim are mechayiv, tashlum kefel of the ganav, and the oido is not. But the game is not over. Game not over. Case number 3, the third game in the tournament. Ma lepiv shkin mechayiv korbon. You tell me, a person in the middle of the night turned on the light on Shabbos by real mistake. He was sure that it was Friday, it was Thursday, and he turned on the light on Shabbos thinking that it was Thursday, and nobody knows about it except for him. And if you feel so bad, he goes to the rabbi. What would the rabbi tell him to do? What? In the times of the Holy Temple, maybe it would be built quickly because they have a headache when I don't drink coffee. Shogeg has to do what? Korban Chatos. No eidim. Does he still have to bring a korban? No eidim. So maybe no korban. What? He admitted, Ahoy the Elav Chatosoi. A korban is the personal store between you and Hashem. And therefore, if you admit, if you want to feel, now if you're mechuyev, yeah, your own hoidah, your own realization that you did the averes, which mechav you to bring the korban. Toimer be'edim she'en mechav inois the korban. Eidim are not mechav korban, as we're going to see. Let's say a person says, yeah, as we're going to see now, a person says, I know I did not turn on the light on Shabbos. Wow. And the eidim say, yes, you did. Then he does not have to bring a korban. Wow. In other words, his own hoidah is mamish stronger than the eidim. And as far as I know, korban costs money. I don't know how much a sheep costs. I don't know, 1,000 shekels. I hope I'm not being ridiculous. I don't know. So he'll have to pay by bringing a korban, but his own hoidah. But if eidim came and said, you turn on the light on Shabbos, naughty boy, and he said, no, I know for sure I didn't. No question, no. He doesn't have to bring a korban. The opposite of Beis Din, because it's your own story. So you see, wait, you see now 1-0 for who? Or it's 1-1 really? It's 1-1. This game was 1-0. Of what? Of now, Piv is mechayiv money. Korban is worth money, I think. More than the eidim are not mechayivim. So it's 1-1. So far, eidim are not winning the story. They're not winning the game, the Olympics here. Zog the Gemara halokashia. That's not difficult. Why? Rav Chiyah, don't forget, the author of our Brisa is Rav Chiyah. Rabbi Chiyah ki Rabbi Meir svirlei. Rabbi Chiyah believes holds like Rabbi Meir. He's a follower of Rabbi Meir's shita. What did Rabbi Meir say? The Omar eidim mechayvin oisel korban mikal vachomer. Rabbi Meir says no. Rabbi Meir completely disagrees with what we just said. And Rabbi Meir says eidim are mechayv a person korban. Yes, they are. Eidim are mechayv a korban. That case we just portrayed. Eidim tell a person you did something wrong, he has to bring a korban from a kal vachomer. Soon we're going to see the kal vachomer. Ditnan. No, it's not 1-2. It's no. We'll get this. Ditnan, lat. Ditnan. We'll see the case and then we'll count. How do you call the thing with the scoreboard? We're going to watch the scoreboard soon. But now we're going to have the who says sports is not a kosher? Lahavdil. Ditnan. Two people tell a person, Mister, you ate chalev. We saw you in that dubious restaurant. Yeah, you may have not known. I know you're a nice guy. Nothing. We're not judging you. All nice, but Mister, that was chalev. Two people said you ate chalev by mistake. Chalev is chorus. B'shoigeg it is chatas. Vehu oimer lo yachalti. He says no. I know 100% it's not true. I spoke to the Mashgiach, I saw the Shech to the cow. I know 1,000,000% it was not chalev. Clean conscience, I know didn't eat chalev. Rabbi Meir Mechayev, as opposed to what we said, Rabbi Meir is Mechayev and say that the eidim are stronger than the person himself, right? And Rabbi Chiyah holds like Rabbi Meir. So where are we now on the scoreboard? So when it comes to eidim, about the kefel, eidim are stronger, more mechayev. And when it comes to what? To the bringing korban chatas, eidim are also stronger. So it's 2 against 1 versus those. So it's 2 for the eidim. The chachamim poitrim. Chachamim say no. When it comes to korban, we blatantly ignore the eidim and we only follow the person. Why? He's the one who has to make his own decision. It's his own hoida elov, his own admittance. As long as they didn't admit, there's no place for korban. Omar Rabbi Meir. Now Rabbi Meir comes to defend his point with what we said before, with the kal vachomer. He says like this: Im eviu shnaim lidei misa chamura, lo yaviu lidei korban akal. Which means, if 2 people are eidim, if they say to a person, Rabbi, you didn't eat chalev, you turn on the light on Shabbos, amazed. We warned you, we saw you 3 times, and you turn on the light blatantly, off the derech, mamash completely in avera, and what? And he says, no, I didn't do it. Who do we believe? Avada the eidim. The eidim can, excuse the expression, kill him. They can bring his execution. Use better words, yeah? Koshek and korban, says Rabbi Meir. It's all very nice that if a person admitted it, of course. If a person, I know this pasuk, says Rabbi Meir. That someone was all alone at night. Nobody saw him. He has his own conscience bringing his korban. But when he denies the eidim, of course the eidim are forever stronger. So now Rabbi Chiyah is a fan of Rabbi Meir. So now we have 2 cases in which, right, the eidim are stronger. Amru loy, back to the chalev. Amru loy, chachamim say no. 2 eidim are weaker than a person's declaration when it comes to korban chatas of Shabbos or chalev. Ma imir tzaloyma mezid hayisi yipoter. They say no. Let's say the person can say, you know, guys, it's a very, very smart way to get out of the loop here. Says the person, you know, you saw me eating chalev, and nobody can deny that what 2 eidim saw. The Rambam says is like for sure happened. It's like we would say today, video camera, like for sure edus. You know, guys, calm down. You know, you really saw me eating chalev, but if I wanted to, I could have said I was mazid. If I would have said I was mazid, I wouldn't have to bring a korban. There are 2 people who don't have to bring a korban. Somebody who didn't eat chalev, but he ate badat seid charedis gale, cha, you call it in America, the fat thing, but he was he was kosher. The other guy who does not have to bring korban is the one who ate it b'mezid. Doesn't bring korban. No, chatas is only in shoigeg. So in other words, I'm not against the eidim. They saw me eating it. I think the whole thing was bichlal kosher. You get excited against me and say, we could have killed you. And this says Rabbi Meir, so of course we believe them. I believe them that I ate, but you know what? You don't know what's in my heart. You don't have an x-ray to my heart. I could have said that that really I'm a mazid gomu, and as a mazid, Mimela, I don't have to bring a korban. So I have, through the back door, I could have gotten out of korban. Mimela will believe him more than the eidim. Now, something here doesn't work right. Why aren't you happy, Baruch? Why? Says Toysfus, very nice if that's what you mean. Correct, Toysfus, how could the person say I was amazed? Didn't we just say that a person says, Ein odom mesi match morosho? If a person says, and again, I'm using the Gemara's example, not anything else. The Gemara in Sanhedrin around Daf Ches, the person says, I had relations with another man and it was nice for me. That's example of the Gemara. He's not believed. We don't give him skila, yeah? So, because the person cannot make himself a Rosho. News for asking good. So here, how could he have said, I was mazed in the eating? Says Tosis, it's a brilliant answer. We don't say that a person cannot say I never did anything wrong. A person who says, I did this aver mishkav zoch or chilul Shabbos could be believed, but listen carefully, Tosfos says he's not believed to kill himself. He's not believed to incriminate himself and say, I did an avera, therefore I am chayiv misa. You can't paskin yourself chayiv misa. In this case, he's saying I'm a tzaddik. Because I really know I was not shoygeg, I don't want to bring a korban to Beis HaMikdash. I'm a good guy. Admitting that I'm wrong in this case means what? Those two eidim, two big shots, the eidim, they think that I have to bring a korban. If I don't have to bring a korban and I bring it to Beis HaMikdash, is that allowed? No. Chulin lazaro. You're not allowed to bring an extra. It's a bracha levatolo. I have a suffix about the tea. I can make just another shackle because I feel like, right? A korban, he says, I'm a tzaddik. I admit I'm mazid, which means I'm saving myself the avera or bringing an unnecessary korban to Beis HaMikdash. And that he's allowed to say. Big yesod of Tosfos. It's not like a person says, it's not like a person can ever say, has to have high self-esteem, can never say I did anything wrong. A person cannot say I did wrong and therefore I have to be executed. But if he says I did wrong because really I'm amazed and I ate the chalev with gishmak and against the Kodesh Baruch Hu, and therefore I know I don't have to bring a korban. Well, they want to make me bring a korban chulin, a korban levatolo, so to speak. He's a good guy. He's the nafkamina from his rishis is tzidkis, the halachic nafkamina. That he could have said. Mimel in this case, he's believed. Say chachomim. That was your question, right? And that's his answer. Yes. They're amazing. Or he's believed. Yes, he's believed amazing. Or he's believed they didn't do it at all. Oh, there's another question of Tosfos, Jeffrey, and that is, migo against eidim doesn't work. So what are we telling you here? What's he saying here? If the person would have said, I didn't eat it at all, you insist I ate it, I could have brushed you off easily and said, you know, guys, I'm zorem with you. I go along with you that I ate. Elamai, I ate, but I could have said it's mazid. Could have said it's migo. Migo against eidim doesn't work. Migo neged eidim is not strong enough. Eidim are stronger than migo, for sure. Says Tosfos, it's not a migo. The person can say, let's say the person said, lo yochalti, and then he can continue the sentence and say, b'shoigeg. But I did it b'mezid. He can actually finish that line that way. It's not I could have said, he will say it. So he can say, like Jeffrey said, he can say, lo yochalti, and then continue after they came and made all balagan eidim and said, you did eat. He could have said, keep talking, eidim, and you say that I ate, and he'll continue the line and say, lo yochalti b'shoigeg, but b'mezid. I meant really when I said lo, not I could have. I am reinterpreting my line. Lo yochalti b'mezid. Chachamim say that works. A person can re-explain his sentence in a different way. Rabbi Meir says shtuyot. You can't change your mind after the first sentence. You can't embellish your sentence after you finished it. That's a different. You can't change from lo ochalti at all into only shogi, not mezid. At the beginning, he said lo ochalti. We all thought he means to say he need it all. Then the eidim came and he says, I meant lo ochalti the way you mean. Lo ochalti b'shogeg like you guys are saying. But I did eat b'mezid. That line, according to Chachamim, he may be able to say, and according to Rabbi Meir, no. Lamaisa, at the end of the day, Lamaisa so far so good. Lamaisa now in the game, in the Olympics, where we're holding, eidim are doing good. Because again, when it comes to kefel of the Ganav, eidim are stronger. And when it comes to what? To korban, according to Rabbi Meir, according to the Rabbi Meir team, which Rabbi Chiyah is on that team, eidim are stronger than the person. If eidim said you ate, and they assume it was shoigeg, and you never said otherwise, you said lo yochalti, we don't believe you. I later on you say lo echalti means that. You say that there's excuses to the teacher. Says Rabbi Meir, and therefore eidim are stronger than him. Let's just okay. Quick question now to Jeffrey. Yeah, nice. Now another question. The game's not over. Here comes another competition. When it comes to his own pen, a person, let's say the korban osham involved. The osham we all know, which are them of a kama. When does the person bring osham? There are 5 cases. One case, a person who admitted and he says, I stole, and he swore at the beginning. He swore sheker, I didn't steal. Then he admitted that he stole, his own admittance, right? Only by his own eidah, he has to bring chomish v'osham. And eidim are not mechayivim chomish v'osham. Talk to Gemara, osham and korban. Osham is the same korban, and therefore would be the same achloikis like Rabbi Meir and Rabbanan before. So that's not big news. So, Ella, no, malapiv sheken mechayiv chomish. No, chomish is a new thing. The chomish, the 5th, which is really a quarter, we learned in the vachomer, right? Is the extra money. You stole 2,000, you have to bring 2,500. That extra money is only brought by the ne'emanus, the credibility of your own mouth, not the eidim. Says the Gemara halakasha, same answer. Rabbi Chiyah, Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Chiyah sticks to the Rabbi Meir team. He thinks of Rabbi Meir. Same thing exactly. No, the same game, which means just like Rabbi Meir says that eidim can always be mechayiv person at korban chatas, and they can say, Mister, if we can kill you by saying you smoked on Shabbos b'mezid, we can also have the super overpower to, and no explanations. You can't, evade us with your fun explanation. Mezid shogig shmogig burgig. No. In other words, if we said you ate it b'shogig, then you ate it b'shogig. Same thing as chomish. If eidim came and they said that he did so and so and he owes chomish, he'll have to pay chomish according to Rabbi Meir. Ella. Now comes, therefore, so now another question. Ela malapiv shekin ein b'choshu b'hazomo, tomer be'edim sheyeshen b'choshu b'hazomo. That's bad news. Listen to this. Let's say a person, and now we're going to see what it means more than 100 edim. What does it mean, achosha b'hazomo? What's achosha b'hazomo? Achosha, 2 edim come to Beis Din, and they're made. Last Sunday, somebody killed, somebody owed, somebody got married, somebody turned into UFO. Whatever the eidim are made, 2 eidim kosher, big white beards, big black kippot, kosher. 2 other eidim came and denied them, not hazomo, not imanu ayisem. They said, no, he doesn't owe you money. No, he didn't get married. No, he didn't kill v'chule. So what do you do? 2 against 2. I think that's called the tie. And what? The first 2 eidim are not believed. 2 eidim say you owe money. The other 2 say he doesn't owe money. He doesn't owe money. You leave things as they are. 2 against 2 eidim. You leave things as they are, and you just don't go on. And case closed. 2 against 2. What happens if a person, though, on the other hand, admitted he had a hoido, and he says, I owe somebody $100, yeah? And then because I borrowed last week and I do owe him, 2 eidim came and they said, no, he doesn't owe him. Who's believed? The person. More than the eidim. Wow. Does Baldin, as we said, and now it makes sense. Why? According to our explanation, it's very good. It's not edus. Either it's a din, I'm a dayan on my own inyanim, so get out of my sight. I don't care what you eidim say. I'm a dayan, just like the case of, similar to I say my animal is treif, and the 2 eidim say it's kosher, so other people may eat it, but I won't. It's my own little world of halacha, of my own realm, my own domain. I decided this money is not mine, belongs to him, it will go to him. Or the other pshat, it's a matana. You tell me not to give him matana, who are you? I want to give him matana to whoever I want. So it's like a matana, like a mechila. Mimela hoida is stronger than eidim. Boom. We killed it all. So now we see that really a person's hoida is stronger than the eidim. And that's bad news. I don't know where in the scoreboard. We have to have a chart today. But Lamaisa, that causes the Gemara to change route, to change the direction. Yeah, because right now we see that the eidim are weaker than the person when it comes to mechayev. His own admittance of 100 is mechayevim even more than eidim. While eidim versus eidim are weaker. Yeah, he is above eidim mamish. Mamish you see is on the top of the chart in the scoreboard. In Mela we see that really hoidah is stronger than eidim, and therefore we are stuck. Bam, 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 bam. What a good place to stop in suspense. And now we don't know because Rav Chiyah, what did he say? Rav Chiyah says that eidim are more than hoidah. Right? That was a call vachomer. Let's just repeat the question. What did Rav Chiyah say? If hoidah spiv is mechayvim shvua, eidim, the bigger ones, of course, they're mechayiv shvua. Yeah. So far, eidim lost their crown. Eidim are not stronger than him when it comes to getting money out of him. Boom. Will you be able to sleep tonight? I'll repeat the last thing. Again, we're saying like this. Rabbi Chiyah said a kal vachomer. If Modeh BeMiktzas chayav shvua, we take seriously his own hoidah, right? Up to the point that the rest that wasn't Modeh, we make him take shvua. If eidim came, if he denied the whole thing, and eidim came and said you lied about half, of course he has to take shvua. Eidim should be taken more seriously, and we even overcome what you said that he may be a liar. Ad kedei kach. Yeah, so we see Rav Chiyah is a big believer in eidim being above a person's own hoidah, and yet so far, yeah, in the turn amount they're losing. We see that eidim are less than his hoidah. We see that a person says I owe money, and eidim came and says he doesn't owe. He wins over. He's believed more than eidim about his own money. So why tell me eidim are stronger? Boom, boom, boom. Have a great day. See you all tonight. 8:15.